I'm Jamie Smith, and I am one of the BDMs who works on the Breakthrough program that helps people to start up businesses. So my backstory is I set up a marketing agency with my wife about 15 years ago, and I very well remember getting that first client and how difficult it was. And I think the first client was one where we were doing something which is a very, very low value job. I think it was a set of business cards for somebody. But it was really a way of getting into the marketplace and just sort of seeing how the customer relationship worked, what the value was that the customers saw in what we did, what they were willing to pay, and how the relationship worked. But I think what went really well for me, or the day that I had a massive light bulb moment, was the day I did my first networking event. I went to a breakfast, got up at 7 o'clock in the morning, had no idea what to expect. And I remember I went in shorts and sandals, not really expecting anything. Well, I didn't know what to expect. And everyone there was in pinstripe suits, and I felt completely out of place. But it still worked. People understood, people listened, and they stopped and talked to you. And that was what really started me realising how business people work in a B2B environment, how they sort of take time out of their day to go and meet other people. And that's really what led to the start of our business. And I've seen that in so many other businesses moving forward as well. So I think that's a really powerful way to build a business. I think when you're approaching a new client on a B2B level, one of the most important things that you need to bear in mind is that the customer understands what it is that you do. And then as soon as, if they understand what it is that you do, then the next problem you've got is, do they want to pay for it? And realistically, that's all you need to do in terms of sales. If they do understand what it is that you do, they'll know immediately whether they want to give it a try or not. And then you can move on to the next person. And really, all you need to do is get that first customer. Then you can get feedback and traction from that first customer, and then start to build your business that way. So the Breakthrough program has several elements to it. We put people through a series of 6 workshops, which enables them to test the elements of their value proposition, which is the thing that you put in front of your customers to find out whether they're interested in biting your hand off for it or not. And as part of that, we work out a kind of minimum viable product or service, so you can actually put something in front of people and find out if they're interested. So the workshops help with that. We've also got one-to-one support from coaches. We ask challenging questions effectively, so we try to get people to address the issues that they might have kind of squirreled away to the back of the cupboard and they're trying to ignore, because actually the customers will know whether or not that this is a good thing or not. We also have mentoring. So we've got personal mentors who will sit beside you one-to-one, side by side, and they'll help you to go through things like personal confidence issues and sales. And when we talk about sales, it's not this kind of pick up the phone and give someone a hard sell. It's about spotting sales opportunities where you might just not really realise they're there. When people are saying certain things, they might be showing you a little marker that they're interested in talking further. And how can you take those conversations and build something out of it, and maybe just get to that follow-up conversation, and then maybe talk about price, and then maybe you've got a sale that's going to happen like that. You know, finding your first customer can be a bit tricky, and it can often happen in the most unusual places. I've worked with many clients on the project so far. I think one of the most interesting was Hayley Tamlin of the Little Cornish Wedding Company. She had the hypothesis that there was a client base who would pay for wedding planning in a certain part of Cornwall. And in order to test this, she basically set up a wedding without a bride and groom. She booked the venue, got the caterers in, got all sorts of amazing things to make this fantastic party, invited loads of guests. They were local, the great and the good, they were business people, they were friends and family, and people who were just well connected. And she put this amazing party on, and people really got to grips with what it was that she was offering. So there was that understanding of the offer that people could then tell other people about. She also got a load of great photography out of it, which she could then use in her own marketing, and a little bit of public relations as well off the back of it. So that was a nice example of how a person could, through a lot of effort but relatively low cost, put on some sort of event which effectively was a mechanism for generating customers.